Thank you for joining us this Friday, the 3rd of December. I'm Sophia, a market analyst with Bell Direct. This is the weekly market update. We'll cover Bell Potter's must-have stocks in a portfolio, key economic data, how the markets performed this week, as well as the stocks our clients found the most value in. To start, let's take a look at the week so far. There's been some key economic data released this week. On Wednesday, the country's growth rate was released. The economy contracted less than expected, with GDP falling 1.9% in the September quarter. Household final consumption expenditure fell 4.8%, and the household savings to income ratio rose from 11.8 to 19.8%, driven by an increase in household income and a decline in spending. Additionally, disposable income increased at its fastest rate since 2008, underpinned by the government's support payments to households and businesses impacted by the pandemic. Now, in terms of net trade, exports of mining and rural commodities increased, while imports of goods declined. Balance of trade data was released yesterday. The trade surplus decreased to $11.22 billion in October. Exports fell 3%, driven by the falls in iron ore prices, while imports fell at the same pace. Now, looking at the market this week so far, global markets all had a tough start to the week amid news of the new COVID Omicron variant. Concerns were eased later in the week. However, the Aussie market, Monday to Thursday, has fallen 0.7%. Most stocks are lower except for materials and communications services, which are slightly higher. Looking at the stocks leaderboard, KFC owner Collins Foods CKF has performed best week to date. The company released its half-year results earlier this week, reporting a revenue increase of 9.5%, NPAT up 31.6%, and a fully franked interim dividend of 12 cents per share. Lynas Rare Earths, LYC, has also performed well this week, as well as global engineering company Worley WOR, following a broker upgrade. Morgan Stanley upgraded WOR shares to an overweight rating with an improved price target of $11. Meanwhile, UBS and Citi maintain their buy rating, and Macquarie maintain their outperform rating. Most of the worst performers on the ASX 200 week to date are gold miners. Earlier this week, Ord Minnett rated multiple gold mining stocks as a buy, including two that have appeared on the stocks leaderboard this week. These include Northern Star Resources, NST, and Gold Road Resources, GOR. Now, taking a quick look at the All Ords, the best performer was telco company Tuas, TUA, after news that its Singaporean subsidiary TPG Singapore will acquire an additional 5G spectrum. Now, Bell Potter have reviewed their must-have stocks in a portfolio. The stocks have been selected based on their long-term investment potential, which should drive superior earnings growth and shareholder value over the coming years, notwithstanding inevitable disruption in the economic and investment environment. Now, with this in mind, the balance sheet ratios of the companies must also remain strong. Now, Bell Potter's first champion stock is Amcor AMC, a global packaging and for food, beverage, pharmaceutical, medical devices, home and personal care. Now, in 2019, Amcor announced their acquisition of Bemis, which is another global packaging company. The combined group has since become a global leader with a footprint encompassing Europe, Africa, the Middle East, Asia Pacific, and the Americas. Urban Toll Road Networks owner and operator Transurban Group, TCL, is another also on the list. Now, although its share price hasn't made much movement this year, brokers remain optimistic on the stock. Transurban Group are expected to have big development opportunities over the next few decades, with this, which is supported by the population and economic growth. Challenger CGF, a retirement income and investment company who provide retirement annuities. So it's a stock with long-term potential as baby boomers continue to move into retirement. Now, we then have Lendlease Group, LLC, one of the biggest names in the international property and infrastructure market. Now, in international markets, there are opportunities for growth in urban regeneration. The end value of Lend-Lease's urbanisation pipeline is now sitting at $101 billion globally. Industrial property company Goodman Group, GMG, is another must-have stock with global operations centred around ownership, development and management. Netwealth Group, NWL, is an Australian investment platform technology provider offering investment management solutions to financial intermediaries. Now, the company's future outlook is based on a structural shift within the wealth management sector. So that's the shift from the larger players to the independent players in the industry. Now, more recently, Netwealth have taken market share from the major banks and the other large diversified financial businesses, which supports the company's growth outlook. We then have CSL, the leading global organisation in the development, manufacture and distribution of plasma therapies and influenza-related products. CSL have an extensive research and development portfolio. Additionally, Sonic Healthcare, that's SHL, which is the world's third largest pathology provider. SHL has international expansion opportunities as the demand for pathology services continues to grow. And the final stock on Bell Potter's list is Brambles BXB, which is a global logistics company that is currently operating in over 60 countries. The company provides reusable containers and crates in a pooling supply chain model. They currently work in consumer goods sectors like food, health, personal care, and any expansion into emerging markets is likely to generate additional earnings growth. Now, moving to the most traded stocks by Bell Direct clients this week. These included BHP, Pilbara Minerals, Commonwealth Bank, Transurban Group and Novovix. Our clients also bought into Westpac, WBC and Fortescue Metals, FMG, while took profits in Telstra, TLS and Woodside Petroleum, WPL. And economic data to look out for next week is the RBA's interest rate decision on Tuesday, which is expected to remain unchanged. And that's all for this week. I'm Sophia Mavridis with Bell Direct. Have a great Friday and a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday morning.